Tony's place got raided last night.
So how you find out before I do?
You know, Bonnie, she told me this morning.
So why she ain't come to me first? Then I gave her specific instructions to go down there and make sure she get everything and bring it right back to me. I see Stoney up to her old tricks again, huh? Mm-hmm. You know what? It's a terrible thing to succumb to greed. But you know what, Nikki? You can always tell the winners at the start of the game. You can always tell the winners. You can always tell the losers.
I hear you, Pablo.
You know what else, Nick? If somebody fucking with me, oh, you better believe I'm fucking with them. You put that on Stoney's soul.
And on that note,
he did Quinn. Now Quinn was my guy.
I like that. That was a really good line with the succumb to greed line.
Yeah.
I like that was a heck of a line.
I wrote it.
Go,
go.
Yeah, I like that line.
That's right. So, guys, welcome to the Roundtable Podcast, guys.
That's right. Hey.
Guys, we're your hosts, your co-host here today. And guys, you know, everybody's name is on the board. We have, what do we have? We have Lovely T, we have RW3, we have Lady B, and yours truly, Tony. And guys, we're here with another podcast today. We're talking about, in general, relationships hour. This is our relationship hour. But I don't know if we have anything in particular to judge if it's toxic or not or healthy.
Well, in terms of we're just trying to see the way she was thinking. Well, I'm gonna read it out what she's thinking, but we're trying to see was her thinking toxic or not, or is that really true what's going on?
Yeah.
So that's what we're gonna kind of
So guys, that's what we're talking about in this relationship hour. Listen, we would love for you to like this, to share it. We come on every Sunday at 4:30, guys. Right. And, try to bring you some quality information. And guys, that's what's up. So, how are we starting off this relationship hour till our guests arrive?
I told her 6:30, so because I thought we were going to be on longer on our previous show, so I told her 6:30. So
what time is it now?
It's 6:19. So I guess whatever y'all want to do.
This just brings up relationship. Did y'all want to talk about what relationship off the cuff?
What you eat, man?
Huh?
What do you eat?
Popcorn.
You be 2 shows. You just be. You know what? My daughter got some of that.
Yeah, this is pretty good.
What is it?
It's actually vegan. What is it? That's vegan.
Oh.
I said my daughter. I'm not eating it.
No, I'm telling you, that's good. No, it's really, listen. I've tasted some vegan dish that tastes better than non-vegan dish. You got some chefs out there that's out cold. They especially in California, they got chefs out there that do vegan food. Man, please. I've never been there from what I've heard. You know what I mean? On doing the YouTube, looking at the YouTube video. But what's the new thing, y'all, in relationships in the news? Anybody know anything?
I think people, even though this is not our topic, I think people they seem to be more open to open relationships or bringing third parties into the bedroom with them.
Now, that seems like that is a thing. Pleasing your partner. What's the old girl who believe in that? The actor who says she got blackballed in the industry.
Yeah, we talked about her in one of our podcasts. Monique.
Yeah, well, Monique believe in that. That's what I thought. Allegedly, that's what I thought. We're having. I don't know if it's different partners in the bedroom or being able to be in other relationships. I know the guy from New Edition. What's the one, the tall?
Ronnie, he tripping.
Yeah, I'm spitting out my mouth. Ronnie, they believed in open relationship, and then they got out of that though.
Right.
We got a comment already. Somebody said, Leah Chapman said, never.
What was it again?
What, bring somebody else into the relationship?
Right. In terms of where do you draw the line with pleasing your partner? Now let me ask y'all this though. This is extreme. What if, for God forbid, 6 months you weren't able to perform in the bed? Would you want your partner to go ahead and get it in until you're able to do it? Or would you want them to wait for 6 months?
I mean, you have people that are dealing with like physical illnesses, maybe cancer, chemo, and that's just not, gonna happen. So, I mean, I think that's a very realistic situation, or
So
can be.
So you specifically, you, not people, you.
You
love to say
always
people.
trying to call me out.
Right, because you be like people.
Because that's
I'm
what
asking
we
you.
about.
Okay, what about you?
What about me? What was the question?
The question is, see, you jump off something else so much you don't even hear the question we bring to the table.
No, I mean, what, 6 months? Okay, we talking about my mate? Like, would I wait for my mate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what if he encouraged you, said, babe, you know what? You can go ahead and have somebody to pleasure you, would you consider it?
No, because that means you gotta have somebody already in mind. Like, no, I'm not saying this.
Hold on, she thought about it for like 25 minutes.
Shut up.
Daylight said that's toys and hand jobs. That's why you marry for love and not sex.
There you go.
Oh, let me ask a question though, Daylight. And again, I'm just posing a question, not to suggest I believe in it or subscribe to it. My question is, and Tone and y'all, we could jump on it. Y'all can give some insight. Is sex a major part of marriage?
Is that Daylight that was on the show?
No, I know my daughters. I'm like, oh my God, we having this conversation. Just mute your mic. They're probably like, oh God, I'm gross. I don't know. I don't know if it's, I guess it's the mentality of it's the person or what type of person you are. I think that makes a big difference. So it's kind of hard to say, but in any relationship, is it a big deal? You get what I mean? Not just in marriage, it's because you got more people who not married these days than who are married and living together. So you got a great number of those individuals who are living together than married couples. So I think I would say, depending on that relationship, yeah, depending on that relationship, I'm gonna call. If I was married, then obviously you saying that the woman, it's not just all about sex because you got married with this brother. Right. You can go sleep around if you care just about that. You know what I mean? So,
we got a comment from Leah.
Hey, for better or worse, that's what it said.
Right.
So what about you, RW3? What about you, RW3? Would you wait or would you go out?
To be frankly honest, I will wait. That's my baby. And I wouldn't want, I wouldn't want to do something that I know would hurt her. And it's just not the right thing to do. I mean, Daylight made a good point that I love her, I married her, and sex is a component, but I married her because I love her. So if she was, if we couldn't do it, I'll have to figure something else out. But I definitely wouldn't introduce another woman into our relationship. That's not a good look. Nope.
What if it was your girlfriend and not your wife?
What?
What if it was your girlfriend, not your wife?
Well, if it's my girlfriend, I'm supposed to be trying to do right till I get married, so it wouldn't make no difference. Try.
But I'm gonna tell you what.
You like that answer?
We're in a total different age category. You know what I mean? So the new mind, you got a lot of them that they are doing that, and you have them where they're not getting married because of that. You know what I mean? They just hanging out with one another. You know what I mean? So
They're not getting married because of what, Tom?
Because a lot of older people believe this, where they say, no, what is that? There's a saying about I'm gonna sample it before I try it. You know what I mean? It's saying that I'm gonna see what this relationship is about before I make a commitment to say I'm gonna marry you. It's almost like, you know, that's the new world think differently. So doing that, having those having multiple relationships, you know what I mean? Sleeping with one another, two girls sleeping with it. That's, I don't know. It sounds like it's common in this generation.
Yeah, there's a lot of sexual fluidity. We've talked about that on previous shows, and this upcoming generation, it's kind of an oxymoron almost, because it's like on the one hand, they don't want to be put in a box, right? But then on the other hand, they are full of labels. You know, I'm a non-conforming, you know, heterosexual, bisexual, ambipolarist, like, you know, the list goes on.
Right.
So when we were coming up, you know, it was girl, boy, you know, gay, straight, that was it. But, you know, so it's important. So they want to, on the one hand, you know, have their own identity, full of these labels, but at the same time, don't want to be put in a box. Go figure.
Yeah. And Greg Greg, thanks for your comment. Greg said, married or single, there's no new mind. Either you respect and want it, or you don't. Ain't no new mind. So thanks, Greg. Let's start on.
That's right. Thank you for that. Yeah. I mean, that's true. It just, you know, it's just that it's young generation and the older generation. Some guys that was into that, where they have more than one girl, you know, doing that. So I think it's become everything is more popular in this generation.
I know. I'm not gonna say I know a lot. Let me scratch that. Rewind that. I know.
It's on tape. You can't scratch it. You just said.
I know that I know of men out there that who are older and say marriage is overrated. I mean, it's as a matter of fact, as far as I can remember, and that's why I was like being careful, like being around men, even at like work or in different settings, and they're older, right? And I'm just listening, you know, they're like, marriage is overrated. It's overrated, you know. I would never get married again. And, you know, and they are very happy and satisfied with being single and dating. And, you know, that's what they prefer. So.
But one of the things I never could understand was, if you were living with somebody over 3 or 4 years or 5 years, what's the difference between that and you saying I do? You know what I mean?
You want to know?
Yeah.
I think part of it is the mentality of the people that you're talking about. I think sometimes for some people, marriage is possession. And so if, you know, one gets married, there's this sense of entitlement and ownership. And so for the other person, it could be like, you know, there's a lot of good things here, but I know if I cross that line and say I do, that I'm walking into knowing that, you know, this person is going to feel like they have dominion over me.
We got our guest coming on in a second. She about to come on now.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm gonna ask you there. So I'm talking about in terms of how you socialize with one another. How do you feel more? What's the difference between being married and non-married? What emotions change? You know what I mean? What emotions change towards this person? I'm not gonna feel more closer to her, I don't think, because we got married. I mean, I think because we single versus we get married, I'm still committed to this person. So I don't, you know what I mean?
And you know what, Tony? It's interesting you say that. When I talk to people, you know, I believe certain behaviors and habits need to be in place prior to marriage. For example, I knew a couple guys, you know, and guys would say, you know what? I'm about to get this out of me, dealing all these ways. I'm about to get this out of me. And even the night before I get married, I'm going to do the bachelor party, sleep with a couple strippers, then it's over. But my argument to that is kind of like you said, Tone, marriage in itself is not going to change your thirst for a lot of women. Because initially, maybe for like a month, you might be euphoria in marriage. And after that, I'm back to doing what I do. So like you said, Tone, marriage alone is not just going to make this magical change in feelings and behaviors, in my thought.
Right. Yeah. I guess it's just one of those things. But the couple bringing them, I think that's just becoming as crazy as it sounds. I think it's just popular. It's that thing now.
Well,
you know
Greg says, oh, Greg is a woman. And she says this new thing is a bunch of hurt, unresolved, satisfaction in the moment, dysfunctional people, old and young. They are only going with people that will let them.
And Greg followed up by the way, I'm a woman. They want to be able to cheat, respect, capitalize is the difference. By those that don't respect will not marry.
Right. So they finding it more common to just say, hey, we just go friends with benefits. We call it friends with benefits, and we ain't got to do that married thing because they say, why do we need to be married? You know what I mean? Why do I need to marry you? We still like each other. We love each other. We living with each other. And I mean, and then it could be both ways. It cannot just be, do you think that it could be always somebody else who feel the opposite of that and they both don't agree and just waiting on that person to say, yeah, I'll marry you? You know what I mean?
Say it again, Tom. I need to understand what you're saying.
Okay. What I'm saying is that in those two couples, the one who's, I said, is there how can I say it now? Is the reason why, do you believe both parties always agree that they want to be single, dating each other but not married? Do you believe the other one always say, yeah, I want to marry you, and the other one saying, well, I don't, but the other one is still staying with that person till they say they do?
I think that definitely exists.
Yeah, and that's the only reason why they don't say it, because they really waiting on the other person. They really want to do that, because like if we both agree that I don't want to get married, we just gonna hang out. But in your heart, you really want to be married. So you know what I mean? But you still agree with me and say, yeah, I think that's cool because I don't want to be with you right now either. But then next week I say you want to get married, you say, yeah. You know what I mean? I forgot my question. I forgot my answer.
Greg made a point about, people generally don't want to deal with themselves. And this quarantine is forcing people to pay attention. And I've experienced I've been, in my line of work, the people that we're dealing with, we just had a situation with two people we're servicing. They had got on each other's nerves so much, somebody wanted to say, you know what, put a knife, you drive me crazy. Because they had never spent that much time together in quarantine.
Oh, it's like, or in life, in marriage. There's married couples who have said that they wish they was at work because they so used to leaving the house, going to work, don't have to be, but now they got to stay together. You know what I mean? That's like, wow. I didn't think it was that deep.
It's that deep. And Leah made a very good point that she
We all
said
over the place.
the mind will forever have the delineating line of lifelong commitment. Absent marriage, I can leave whenever I want. It's an easy escape route without the stress of divorce, of the divorce process. And some people do have that mindset. You know what? If we just going together, I'm gone. You know.
Hell, with a 50% divorce rate, and I mean, it's probably higher than that, unfortunately, within the Black community. I mean, you know, I'm just saying, I'm not saying for me, but I'm saying like, this is probably why you have why you have this trend, you know, leaning towards more, like you say, Tone, living together and not going through marriage, you know, because there's been so many just bad examples and marriages that end up in divorce that people, you know, there's a fear there. There's a fear.
Well, let me ask you this, because now you bring me to this, because it seemed like we're moving in another direction of what the topic was.
Yeah, we stick to this one for now.
It's a good topic, because my thing is, what do women do? What do men do with women? Okay, so the women go live with the guy, or the guy go live with the woman. Are they setting themselves up when they make that decision that you actually helping them to say, I can delay this process because she already come to live with me, or he already come to live with me, so I ain't gonna ever bring up the question. You know what I mean? Isn't it making it, because we're talking about the living part of it? You understand what I'm saying? I'm a little confused.
But I mean, I don't think people, and again, I want to be careful, like, there's a lot of probably different scenarios out there, but I don't think people initially go into it thinking like this is all this will ever become. I think people go into it hoping that, you know, they're going to build something together and eventually get to a point of marriage. But I think when the realities hit, you know, and you're because you don't know somebody until you live with them, and you haven't made that commitment, you know, that fear begins to just build and build, because you're like, can I really deal with this person? Do I really want to deal with this person for the rest of my life? You know, because you see the good, the bad, and the ugly all the way live, you know, 7 days a week, because you're living with them. So I don't think that every situation they're just like, well, we just gonna live together and boom, that's it. I think people go into it with big hopes and dreams, and then something happens along the way.
But now, I noticed that word be said a lot, that you don't know a person until you live with them. Now, in terms of being married, isn't that all about being married? That you learning one another, you're growing with one another, and you got to figure it out. And a lot of times, those can be some of the more tougher times because they trying to figure each other out. You get what I mean? But after a while, that actually, you know, blows off a little bit. You know what I mean? I'm starting to learn how you move. You starting to learn how I move, instead of just getting in a relationship saying that, well, I want to get to know you first. That, to me, that's kind of tricky. It's like a cop out to me. You copping out.
You know, and I agree with that because, Tone, I think, like you said, you know, getting married is going to be an act of faith, because when you do live together, you can always find reasons not to get married. Well, until this is this way, then I'll marry you. Or until this is this way, I'm going to marry you. Or until you change this habit. And like you said, Tone, you know, and some people that do live together, they tend to just, I'm going to live together and not going to marriage, because they say, oh, I'm comfortable. There's no reason to get married. Let me add this piece to it. And I think you mentioned it early, Tone. You know, we don't necessarily have to go all the way down this road, but the difference between marriage and not is we add God to the covenant. Because we get married, we're adding God to that triangulation.
Right.
Us and God. When you're not, the covenant doesn't exist. In the marriage, we're saying that God is going to be part of this, and he's going to be part of directing us. He's going to be the glue that keeps us together. And
you saying a person, people that don't sign a piece of paper can't hold God as first in their lives?
Well, I'm gonna say this, and because just 100% from I'm just strictly speaking, and not trying to offend anyone. God, biblically speaking, he recognized the marriage.
Okay.
Not that we just go together. Unless it was the Old Testament, I think it was Mary and Joseph, but they were betrothed a year before. But but now he recognized the marriage. There's nowhere biblically that says, we just go together, and that's part of his covenant. It don't exist. And this is not a judgment of people. Mm-hmm. I'm not mad at people and dogging people out. I'm just saying from that perspective, he recognizes the covenant, not just we go together. That's why I brought that in.
So is our guest coming?
No, I think she actually she didn't know I was on Eastern. We were on Eastern, so she was on another time zone. She said she was on. She said her 6:30 was 3:30 where she is.
No, I said where she live at.
Oh, good. I didn't even
California.
She probably do. Yeah, so she said she was gonna come on, but I ain't gonna wait because we gotta just do what we gonna do.
No. It's cool. So, but what I'm saying is this. Let me ask y'all this, because we'll talk about it offline. My thing is that who fault do you think it is more so? Is it the woman fault that men aren't marrying, or is it the men fault that women aren't marrying, or they don't think it's cool to marry? Who you think? Is it the woman or the man fault? Which one you think it is?
That's a good question. Oh man.
Oh, who you think play a bigger role? I'll jump. Go ahead, Rob. Maybe you RW. You was gonna jump out there.
In my experience, I'm just gonna go personal experience and not as generic. I found, and when I say experience personally or therapeutically, just talking to people, and this is not a slight on sisters at all. Men are allowed to. She gives so much of herself without him giving the same equally. Because a woman will give so much, reveal so much, surrender so much of herself to this man without him being held accountable for giving as well. So guys will, I can just go with, I don't have to ever worry about marrying her. I can get the cooking, I can get the sex, I can get her commitment, I can get her being faithful, and I don't ever have to. So why would I even marry her when I'm not held accountable for the commitment?
So who you blaming on? You blaming on the woman or the man?
In that case, I'm leaning towards the lady because she's not holding him accountable.
Okay.
She's allowing him.
Why should she have to? I mean, I get you framing it in a matter of her holding him accountable, but dang, like still you putting it on her shoulders to put him in a box, so to speak, for him to act right. He's supposed to come to the table acting right.
Well, but I'm saying though, but hold on, let's stay here then. Let's stay there. If he doesn't, you don't have to deal with it.
True.
You don't have to deal with it. So if he's not, but don't deal with it for years and years.
I'm gonna tell you what. I think that, and we have our guests on.
Oh, yes, we do.
I think
Jacqueline.
I'm gonna jump. Hi, Jacqueline. How you doing? I think that is the woman's fault.
You can jump in whenever you.
Now, let me tell you. What I'm telling you is, I think it is the woman's fault based on, and I'm gonna go deep back in Samson and Goliath. No, what is her name? What's my man's name?
Goliath. Samsung
Goliath.
Goliath.
Yeah. Where you had that woman that was the soft spot to the man. And the woman deceived the man. Even if you want to drop down to Adam and Eve, I'm just saying, a woman have more power, and because of sexual reasons, you know what I mean. That soft touch, that somewhat can be deception that can lure the men in. So if a woman said, I'm gonna go back. Let me drop some time. I remember back in the drug dealer world. I remember back in those 80s and all the 82, where if you was a drug dealer, that's who the women wanted, at least the women that I've seen. And it even played out in the movies where the woman went for the man that was the gangster, had a pocket full of money. But what if the woman didn't do that? What if she shifted and say, I like old boy who ain't into all that. So yeah, bye-bye with you. And matter of fact, I don't even know if you're going to be around. So I'm going to go. What if they shift? If they shift, men would want to be in school. Oh, she like guys in school. I'm about to go to school. I mean, look at TV shows.
Not when. I mean, and we get into.
Hey guys, we gotta kind of let our guests know.
Yeah, we got our guests.
But
that's why men run the
wait, no, we're gonna still talk about this subject because this is real juicy. So you could jump in. We had another subject, but we're gonna stick on this one. And can you guys let our guests know what y'all kind of talking about?
Hold on, I'm gonna say this though, Jacqueline. Shoot, Tone, you got to talking. Her smile left.
Hold on, I'm trying to figure it out.
Well, I guess in that moment we were saying that in terms of being married and living together, who actually was the authority in the lead in that situation? Could have been the woman or the man. If the woman being more accepting, what if she wasn't accepted to saying, I don't want to live with you. You got to get your stuff together with me and get their stuff together. In other words, is the woman, to me, maybe I'll rephrase it, is the woman the greater lead in relationships, or can they really determine the factor in this relationship? Do you think the woman lead that? In terms of being single, married, whatever.
I think that's a really general statement, just because every relationship is different, So there are relationships where I feel like if a woman stands up and she's like, look, this is how it is, it's either going to be this way or no way, then I think that can happen. But obviously there's also relationships where that's just not going to work. And men are stubborn, they're stuck in their ways. And I feel like women are quicker to compromise, and that's just what we do. We want peace. We want it to work out. So it's easier for us to give up our needs to be able to make sure someone else's needs are met.
Yeah, that's true.
And by doing so, we, you all are saying we're not holding them accountable. But like I said, I don't think that's it. I think, men should be men. You're not boys. You're a man. And so with that comes responsibility, and so if, just like you're saying, a woman can say, if you don't do this, I'm going to leave you. Well, guess what? Statistically, particularly in the African-American community, there's 8 other women, and the probability that one of them will let him do what he wants, that will allow and perpetuate his behavior, or the culture that is accepting of his boyish behavior. So I mean, it's easier said than done.
Well, let me ask you this then. Well, let's expand that just a bit. Because we're talking about the African-American culture, but and I'm not saying Black women don't, but we can make choices to go outside of the culture and expand the odds. Because if we're just saying in our culture, and 10 women to every man, so she's more likely to compromise to he being irresponsible. What about, what I need to do now is go outside of the box and look at other cultures and expand the pool for me to get what I want and love.
Well, that kind of leads into our topic.
That's what our podcast was going to talk about, that a lot of Black men were finding that going outside of they're being with more other race, like more Caucasian women. That's what our topic was going to originally be about.
Well, I'm gonna say that. Okay, let's go there, because even in that, because it's still somewhat fits in there. I'm gonna say this, and I thought about that I was looking at I forgot what it was. It was a show, and it was showing the black men dating a white woman. And in my mind, I reflect on it, and I said, well, I wonder what is the thing about, when black men, not all black men, when some black men get a certain amount of wealth, they look towards the white lady than they do towards, the black woman. Or if the same way a black man show a sign of power, white women are attracted to that to some degree. So this was my conclusion on that. I think, and I'm gonna just jump out there, I think that the white woman shows a sign of power, or I've made it, or success to some black men. At the same time, they think that that white woman can do more for him business-wise than that black woman who just seemed to be always just want to take money and not. White women do the same thing, but in signs of partnership, it's just not just a marriage, but just a partnership. I chose the white woman for those reasons.
You think concluded that black men have that mindset? That's your conclusion?
Yeah, my conclusion. Now, I didn't say all. I said I believe those black men that's in that position look at white women as a success story.
Because a lot of black women are looked upon as in music videos. They're looked at as like their body and this and that. Whereas the other race is not so much. Look, a black woman is a lot of times is put in the bad light sometimes.
I think it has more to. I mean, I hear what you're saying, Tony, and I can kind of see where you drew that conclusion, but I think it's more the individual. Maybe the individual feels like, because to be honest, black women are strong. Like we're strong in our opinions. We're strong in what we do, what we say. We're not going to hold something back. And just general statements, stereotypes, most white women are more submissive, especially when they're dating a black man. And I think part of that, for the black man, he chooses a white woman because of that puts him in a position of power, because he feels like he's more dominant and she's going to listen to him and do what she says, and she's not going to bite back, or she doesn't have that strong personality, which we see more so with black women. So I think maybe that kind of goes along with your conclusion of they feel more powerful for that reason, but I don't think it makes them more powerful at all.
And you know what, to your point, Lovely T, is this. In terms of, now I would agree in terms of our responsibility. Again, my experiences, this is just my belief in sisters, is if you come to the table and you love them, respect them, and show yourself to be one who they feel they can submit to in not a subservient way, but submit to in love, I found the black woman would. I think sometimes they've been challenged with some of us guys coming to the table not taking care of business, wanting that level of submission when we're not responsible in a relationship. So we want our cake and we want to eat it too. We want to do what we want to do and expect her to submit to our nonsense. So Lovely T, I do agree with you on us being irresponsible in that aspect.
Well, I just think, okay, I think in this new generation, it's all about success. It's all about making it. And it also is all about what fits my portfolio in terms of even in my relationship. And these days, you have people that's marrying because of what they can gain, even to the syndrome of a Jada Pinkett and Will Smith, how they relationship, Jay-Z and the Beyonce, how they relationship is all about what we can do for one another. And what I'm saying is the black woman has always been looked down upon in every country, looked down upon as not that success story. And to some degree, men look at her as sometimes being the ugliest one. I'm just going to keep it 100. So in saying that, when a black man makes some money and the people that are surround him, and then those relationships, white women know how to stick themselves out in those times too. They know when to come around that man if he got that money. But what I'm saying is that the white woman, I think to some black women, I'm not saying to every, looks more depending on your status. I'm not talking about on our level, but your status to say, yeah, it makes sense to bring you in. You know what I mean?
Well,
And let me say this, last but not least, I knew a man personally. I ain't gonna say no. He was really good in real estate, really good. Him and his wife, well, more so him. They moved to another state. He was sleeping with this white chick, left her alone. You know what I mean? Now they got a divorce. He took his wealth and moved somewhere else. I'm quite sure she got something out of it. But that's what I'm just saying. It shows that narrative. That I see that narrative. That's what I see in media. And you know what I mean? You see it. I see
it. People depict black people as black women as the angry woman, which is not true. Just because she's confident, and she stands her ground. It's like, oh, she's angry. She's angry, you know. So that's another thing.
But see, that's another
what
thing.
What was the topic? I mean, in terms of the
the story.
Why they marry why black men find it comfortable to leave out, right?
No, it was about an attractive, social young black woman from Austin, and can't seem to land a black man. She support and participate in interracial friendships. Like every time they go places, all of the guys will always be looking at her friends who were Caucasian, who were white, and she just was wondering why she just was never. In a minute, she gonna feel like she want to go outside of the race, since she's not seeming to find any black men or black men wanting her. So,
but I could even understand that, because the white man, you have some white men that want to have an experience with a black woman. Think that she is. I think it's just the opposite. The white man want to have that experience, but the white man believe that some black women understand the cause, where some white women may seem more sedity and want money, where he think that the sister might be, down with him, because he know the cause of we can't spend all this money. The sister probably know, yeah, baby, I ain't expecting for you to do all that. You know what I mean? Where the white woman, they hey, I want you to buy this, and see, I'm gonna sit here while you do all this. So they might see just the opposite for the sister.
I was gonna ask Jacqueline her thoughts on that, and I don't know how personal you want to get, but do you are you open to like dating outside or in your race, or do you pretty much stay within, the race? Or
I've dated white and black and mixed, so I've dated them all. And I went through that phase where it was like every black man I dated was a scumbag, and so I stepped outside and I dated a white man for a while. And I don't know if, like, I wasn't seeking a white man. It wasn't like that. It wasn't like, all right, I'm done with black men, I can't deal with this. It was just, that's what happened. And I opened my eyes, and that's what I was attracted to. I started dating him, but it really goes down to like, we have so many differences, I mean, obviously he was European as well, so we had a lot of cultural differences. So I'm a lot more comfortable dating black men, and my partner now is black. But I don't know. I think that a lot of black women or black men, when they step out of their relationship, it's because they're tired, and they felt like everything that they've tried is like they've gone through it. And I feel like they limit themselves because you're only focused on what, like what's in your circle or what's around. So when you level up, no matter where you are, then you can still level up within the same race. And I think a lot of people don't do that. Instead of focusing on leveling up, like, let me figure out, like, obviously I'm looking in the wrong place, let me look somewhere else, but stay within my race. They feel like they automatically have to step out instead of stepping into a different atmosphere, if that makes sense.
And that's
I think
good.
You make a very good point, because there's two different voices I heard. Like, one was on the Wendy Williams show. She was interviewing, I think it was the wives of something. But the lady was saying, like, her husband was this IT guru, and she had to, like you say, level up. She had to go to places that she was not usually comfortable being at in order to, get something different. So she said she went to like a Black Caucus political event, and that's where she met her husband. Typically, that's not a space that she would, go to. And I've heard, from a male's perspective, like, you know, you have to put yourself in these different kinds of circles if you want to, you know, attract or be seen by a certain type of guy. You can't keep going to the club, you know, expecting to get, you know, the guy that just doesn't exist at the club. So
Let me ask
expand
you
your
this.
horizons.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Can we be, to some degree, okay, based on the title, you know, why men drift off into other relationships? Does this deal with economics as well? Because my thing is that I believe that economic play has a big deal in this. What do I mean by that? Okay, so to some degree, you know, white women look at men, like I said, they look at some black men, you know, they like that cool that they have, that swag. And now this guy actually got some money too, when I can deal with him. You know what I mean? So it's not that, you know what I mean, I just want to date well, it could be I want to date a black guy. What I'm saying is the economics make a difference for that black man, I believe, that steps out. But I believe that some black guys, they believe that black women are some of the most faithfulest women out there, even to all the, you know what I mean? They more faithful. So they stick with they black woman because they black woman gonna stay with them through their struggle. You get what I mean? But once that struggle is over, you get what I mean? Now, somewhat the narrative changed, because I see this little, you know, I see this white chick, she paying me some attention. She, you know what I mean? And then now something else happened. But I believe that black women are the most faithfulest black women on earth. I really believe that, in terms of sticking by their man, or in terms of even to the degree race. You know what I mean? But I think that plays more on the woman than it does the man, because the man, depending on him, he gonna get up, and now the woman always left hanging. See what I mean?
Now, so I get, and you know, I just think, you know, that qualities that are, you know, whatever each person determines these are, but qualities in love, I don't think are one particular race culture owns it, in terms of trust, love, being faithful, understanding, nurturing. I don't think those are relegated to a particular race or culture. So I guess my thought is, I don't believe every time someone steps out, I'm not going to use that term, decides to love outside of the culture. I mean, it's possible that those qualities in love that they're looking for, they just, whatever human, regardless of the culture, race, that's where I'm gonna go, because those are the things, regardless of your color, those are the things that I want to be part of my life when I make this commitment. And it can be black, white, green, orange.
I think the problem is that's what they look for, these certain qualities that they want, and they feel like they can only get that in another race. Mm-hmm. And that's where the problem is. Yes. You know, they're like, oh, I want a woman who's, you know, like what Lady B was talking about, like does music videos and all this stuff. Like, does that mess up the culture? Because if they're thinking, I want a woman who's classy and who's not like twerking and doing all this stuff, and then you're thinking about music videos and black women acting like that or doing that, then they think that they need to, you know, step out. I don't know how else to put it, but they need to date another race because that other race has the qualities that they're seeking.
Right. I mean,
Tone, I want to support your point though, that for some people, right, because nothing is like singular. There's room for it all, and I do think that it is like Becky is a status holder, you know, for black men who, for whatever reason in their mind, have adopted that thinking, that toxic thinking, right? Because that's the question of the show: is this toxic thinking or not? It's using people outside of the race, particularly the European race, as a symbol of status. And then even now, you know, like my judgment has kind of changed or a little more reserved when I see mixed couples or famous people with white women or Becky or whatever, because it also depends on how you grew up. Like if your family moved to a suburban area and you go to a high school where you're the minority and the majority, you know what I mean? And just out of sheer how you are brought up or what environment you are placed in, the probability of you getting with a person that's Caucasian, you know, is going to be fairly high, because again, that's the circle that you're interacting with. That's where you live, play, so on and so forth. And especially now in this day and age, you know, it's like maybe it's not always because of status. Maybe it's just because like Tiger Woods. Maybe it's just because that's where he grew up and that's what his connection was.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But and that plays a big part of it. I just believe that, you know.
So what does she do? What do this girl do though? I mean, the one that's feeling like she wanted her kids to have, you know, like a nice wide nose and nice curly hair. But she's feeling like she might not be getting that when it's time to have her baby. She might be having to go outside her race because she can't find a black man.
She wants a black man. She wants a black man. Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, okay. She's doing it because she wants a black man.
Yeah, she wants a black man. But she said they're not really paying her any attention. And so now she's feeling like maybe she might have to step outside of her race because it's like they're
okay. So I won't be confused. Is the woman white or black?
She's black. And
she want to step outside of her race.
She's feeling like the black man is not paying her any attention. Like when she's out with her friends, all of the guys are looking at her white friends and they're not looking at her.
Oh, so I got it now. Yeah. Okay, so now in this particular situation, to me, that could be her perception of what she think black men are doing because of what she think that's going on in her life. And I would say to this, and I'm not throwing this on, don't read into this wrong what I'm about to say. I just like to keep it to the edge. We're up to the edge and tipped over. Okay, so my thing is this. Who is she as? I mean, how is your hygiene? How is your looks? Do you look attractive? I mean, I know, but do you think that man think you attractive? What are you doing to stand out, are you at your best? You know what I mean? I've always taught that always look your best, especially when you're single, because you just never know. So I don't know. There's a lot of things in there. You know, I mean, are you grossly overweight? I mean, I don't know. I mean, what is going on? And you think it's just the black male want white women, or is it just they just not looking at you in that area? What are you doing? And I'm saying to make that happen. Now I'm just keeping it real. What are you doing to make that happen?
I agree with that, because especially if she's going out with the same group of people and she feels like they're getting more attention, and what are they doing? Are they, do they take care of themselves better? They look better? Is she just not, you know what I'm saying? But is she still experiencing the same thing if she goes out by herself?
And she also said that a lot of her relatives are like marrying white women, like a lot of her cousins. The male cousins are.
She live in Minnesota. No, I'm just playing.
I don't know about this. She writing a storyline. It sounds that's a utopia.
No, but I mean, literally, there are some places.
She just convinced herself that that's what it is. And
I think
so. Convince yourself for that, then you're going to attract that vibe. You're gonna think he's not interested in me. He probably wants a white woman. And you're gonna miss any type of signal if he was the slightest bit interested.
Yeah, because listen, in that family, there's a lot of black men that like white women. You know what I mean? And they must be doing pretty decent in life. I mean, I'm not gonna say that's not rose, but but no, what I'm saying is it doesn't sound like a real world to me. I don't know if that was made. If that is, you just have to do. You just have to do the best that you have to do to take care of yourself. Everybody know what it is they need to do in order to make whatever goals to accomplish any of their own goal. You know what you need to do. Just step that game up now. If you've done everything that you can do, maybe you should be, maybe you should try those that might love you. You know what I mean? Maybe it may be a different race. I mean, who knows? But at the end of the day, and I'm not saying this just to say it, but you want to be happy. You know what I mean? So it don't matter what race, just as long as you're happy with whoever it is you're with. Now, if the black brother ain't looking at you, yeah, maybe the white brother will look at you. You know what I mean?
But if she wants to, I really like what Jacqueline said. If she wants to, because she and because I feel her, like in terms of wanting to preserve the black family, and that's how I frame it. That's how me personally, I don't really care to go outside, and I've been told 100 times, like, Asian men are, the #1 bachelors right now, and it's like, okay, I feel you on that, but I believe in preserving the black family. So ultimately, in my childbearing age, or when I was going to have children, I wanted a black child, so I wanted a black family. So, I mean, I feel her on that. So I would say, she should level up. She should level up, like you all have been saying, take a look at yourself, because when your beauty emanates from inside out. So if you have low confidence and low self-esteem, because you think you have toxic thinking that they only want the white women, that's what they're picking up on more than probably your physical. They're picking up on that, or on top of your physical. So level up on your physical, level up on your inner, and then put yourself in spaces where your probability of being seen is higher. Don't go to the bars out in the suburbs where the men are looking at Becky. I'm just saying, like, there's things to do.
Well, Greg said, I guess to Tone and Lady Lovely T, nope, that's not true. Plenty of brothers don't step their game up, being out of their race. So otherwise, I mean, Greg is saying, the guys need to step their game up. It's not necessarily about her.
Well, I was only speaking specifically to her, not in general of who need to step their game up. I'm saying she said that these black men aren't looking at her. So in that, when you look at it that way, it's not the black men that need to step their game up. Is what, she's trying to be approached. So I guess, so that was, no, it wasn't, that's not what we were saying, because we know everybody needs to step their game up. You know what I mean? You always want to strive to do better. But in this particular situation, I was saying that maybe she need to step her game up, because she said black men aren't looking at her. If that's the case, then maybe you should step out and look at men who are looking at you. And that's all I'm saying. So
that's the thing. Are any men looking at her? Because it could just be
right.
like nobody's looking at her, and she's like, well, black men ain't looking at me.
Right. Right. So right. That's who looking at her. So that's all I was saying. But in general, well, in this particular topic about what she perceives, her narrative, are black men, why black men are leaving, I guess I would guess it would be, I'm gonna be honest, I think it's status, and I believe that it's something that you always I mean, come on, man, we live in a white society. I mean, just look at it. We live in a white society, and in that narrative been playing around our head all along about white supremacy. It's good to have this. It's good to even. How many people always told you it's good to know some white friends? You know what I mean? Back in the day, growing up, whatever it is, or people that's in power that happen to be white. So what am I saying? That's been out for so long. For some black men, when they do see a very attractive white woman who have her stuff
You ain't gotta
together.
be attractive.
No, well, I'm talking about with money, men with money. I don't know about the men without the money, but she have to be an attractive white woman, have some brains, and if whatever I need her for, she can make that happen. We'll fall in love later, or maybe we'll learn to love one another. But looking in, that's what I'm looking for. But I think some black men, when it comes to black women, they look at everything and making it hard on a woman. They want to be in love with her. They want her to be, educated. Depends on the guy, and and everything else. So I don't know. I just think it's a perception with black men. This is what they've been longing for, because they've been hearing about it.
I had and I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna quiet down after this. But I had a guy tell me that he dated white women. Now this is what he was telling me. But he dated white women to get back at the white man. You
Wow.
know, tying it to historically
Wow.
how, you know, Black men were, you know, castrated, you know, just we all know the history of, you know, Black men and white women. And so this is his opportunity to get back at the white man by taking their woman. Now, I don't know if his thinking is amongst
Toxic.
you, or it's definitely toxic.
It's
But
definitely
I'm gonna throw
toxic.
that out there and let y'all.
It's toxic on so many levels. And then even on that, you don't even love the woman. It don't sound like you even love the woman. You just you have an agenda.
Revenge. That's what it is.
You know what I mean? So I don't know if that's gonna be fun. I mean, you know, I'm gonna give it at the white man. And then what you gonna do? Hold on, but now look at how stupid that is. You get her now. Okay, are you gonna go where the white man hanging out at? You know what I mean? To show the white man, hey, you know, I got this on my look. Or are you gonna go around majority Black folks? You know what I mean? The African American community, you probably would. You know what I mean? And maybe the white man ain't gonna really see you. So that's stupid. To me, that's a waste of time, false advertisement. I mean, you know, I wouldn't dare do that. That would be so dumb to do something. I'm gonna get back at the white man. You know what I mean? Come on, really? Hopefully, you're not thinking that way. Black men, I'm talking to you, Black men. You don't ever want to get back at what you call a white man. Start making more money than he do. Because that's all he cared about at the end of the day. He care less about, you know what I mean? Yeah, a lot of them don't want you messing with their women. Just like some Black men don't want you messing with their women. So, I mean, you need to get rid of that one. That's the wrong narrative to have.
And you know what, Todd? It's funny you said that. You know, when people think about, you know, of course, in school they would present it. Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves. No, they wanted to preserve the Union, and they wanted to hold on to the capitalistic and making money.
That's right. It was all about that money.
He wasn't our friend, and he wasn't our buddy. Oh, I love Black folk. Let me free the slaves.
Yep.
It was about preserving that Union and preserving the way they can have that capitalistic sovereignty over us still. So
what is it? One third of a man, 1/5, 1/3. What is it?
3/5.
3/5 of a man, 3/5 of a man. That was all propagated into that. You know what I mean? So that was so that's the wrong agenda. You want to be with somebody because you love them, and I do get it. You want somebody to accept me. So that's harder to want somebody to accept me than me just loving people. You know what I mean? Because now I have to set up something where you like about me that drives me to you. So I mean, you know, you just gotta work hard at it.
Black women have been devalued by white standards of beauty.
They have. They have
Like,
to the fullest degree.
They want to wear the long, you know, weaves and the long, blonde weaves and.
But Todd, what did I tell you? I was like that. I liked it only light-skinned women.
Oh yeah, he told me that.
I did not like dark-skinned women. I did not like dark-skinned women. I liked it. I loved light-skinned women. You know, women. It was light. I mean, that was just me. For whatever reason,
music videos a lot.
Yeah, music videos had a big play in it. You know what I mean? With the low, you know, all of those different, you know, ingredients.
Your thinking was. I mean, you weren't alone. You know what I mean? So that does a lot for, you know, just a Black woman, period, because it puts a lot of pressure, I'm sure, on a fair-skinned Black woman, you know, because there's a certain standard or expectation. She knows that she's going to get it's going to be difficult for her to dwell in circles of her own sisters who are of different complexion because of that, when it's out of her control. And then for the brown paper bag and darker sisters, you know, it's like you said, we're always trying to be something we're not, because we're trying to fit the image of what's been said is beautiful. And even from my own experience, I'm gonna tell you, like, I went to a club one time and had I don't know if he was Chaldean or Mexican, I really don't know, but he asked me to dance. Now this is a club full of Black people, okay? And I, you know, went and danced, and I actually had Black men like pulling on me or whispering in my ear, like, "You with the wrong one. Why you with him?" And I swear to God, I was like, "Y'all care?" Oh my God. Like, I was totally shocked that Black men felt a certain type of way about Black women going outside the race. I really, up until that point, didn't think that y'all cared about
They
the
do.
Black women in that regard.
Guys, we got a comment from Joe Bushell. He said, I'm a good Black man looking for a good Black woman. Joe Bushell.
Yeah, and then the thing is, I mean, you know, that's my brother, y'all. That's my brother. But that's the thing. That's the thing where in those situations where it's almost just like, I mean, you like who you like. You know what I mean? Nobody can stop who you like, and you date whoever you want to date. You know what I mean? No one can stop. It's all about, and I don't want it to be everyone say this, you know, a cliche that, you know, is all about being happy. I don't want to just use it as that, but I am saying it, to some degree, it is about being happy. And then to some degree, it depends on some other thing. You know what I mean? Because like that old song say, love don't always make it right. Love don't fill them empty nights. I don't think love paid the bills. You get what I mean? So my thing is so it have to be some type of balance to it. Yeah, I can love you because you Black, but then I also, you know what I mean? Does that make a difference? Because I love you because you Black. You know what I mean? I should love you for all the right reasons, especially because you make me happy. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I would just allow that woman. Maybe she just want to be. I don't know if she just want to be with an African American, or do she want to be? She just want to be happy. You know what I mean? I would just say to you, you just got to figure it out. You know what I mean? You got to figure it out. Do the best you can do with yourself, and then sometimes that illuminates out how you treat yourself. Other people will see you, and you can draw in that energy, negative or positive energy. You know what I mean? If I see a female, I'm married. I'm about to say that. If I see a female with a big rump, walking up the street and her pants half cut off, you know what I mean? Depending on who I am driving up the street, maybe you might get a negative vibe off me because what I see that I believe is negative, you know what I mean? That's positive. You know what I mean? I see and may think that you are free. Because of the way you dress. It depends on everything. Listen, to some guys, it's down to your nails, to how your nails are, how your hairstyle is, what type of shoes you wear. You know what I mean? And you don't want to be with somebody petty like that. But I mean, I'm just saying, you look at you, look at the woman in the mirror. You know what I mean? And see what it is you're doing. But we guys, we just freestyling it.
Yeah,
we just freestyling it. We went a little late. You know what I mean? Like and subscribe.
That's right.
You can't. Well, actually, just playing on YouTube as well. So this is playing on YouTube now, Facebook now, and on our website now. This is playing. So guys, so I can be talking to anybody. So all I'm saying is, listen. This is just our views. We're not professionals in this area to talk to you about what's going on upstairs with you. You know what I mean? But we're just giving our voice and our opinion about what was said. So don't go out and look at this as the law. You know what I mean? But love yourself first. I can't tell you that and promise. When you love you, it don't matter. Just love you first. And I'll let everything else take hand.
Oh, is the round table the hookup line too? Because I see it looked like Greg is winking at Joe.
What?
Oh, I got a wink from Greg to Joe.
Oh, okay. Okay. Joe, maybe got but look, we don't have nothing to do with that. That have nothing to do with the we don't have nothing to do with it. We don't connect people to anything like that. But guys, listen, we enjoy I don't even know what to say no more. This just got me all drained out. I need to go take me some THC and CBD. You know what I mean? So
that's an individual. That's not a round table.
We're gonna bring that up. It is. I think we should bring that up. That's gonna be our next topic. We're gonna talk about what is the difference between THC, CBD, and the medication. To some medications, I'll say like everything.
Oh yeah, Jacqueline, she's a health person. So
Jacqueline.
Yeah, now we know. I was speaking before then because I came to my conclusion, so I already know, and I'm on my way back.
There's a big difference.
We're gonna have you on to talk about that because you know a lot about that, and we're vegans. Well, me and Tony is.
Oh, okay.
So we've been vegans for about a year. We do a little alkaline as well too. Dr. CB.
nice.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
we should talk. We'll talk about that. Maybe we'll set, even though we live
I'm working
now.
on it because I had scrambled eggs and bacon this morning.
Oh goodness.
Well, no, I'm gonna be honest. There's that debate out there that some people think that cheese is, dairy is good for you. I mean, they argue that. You know what I mean? Because in other words, is that on that chart about the eggs?
Yeah, the pyramid chart. Yeah.
I just tell people to go by how they feel, because I used to be a big meat eater. I was the person who was like, oh, I'm a carnivore. I need meat to survive. I can't go without it. But so many people complain about having stomach problems and they feel tired or they don't have energy and all this. So I just say change your diet. Try it for 7 days. Try a plant-based diet. And most of the time, the people who I've had do that, they don't go back.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna talk about this. We're gonna talk about this health thing on another
Listen. I'm talking. We look at her calendar because I know. Let me tell you why.
Yeah.
Listen, coming out of this pandemic, I believe two things are going to change drastically in the African American community, and that one of those major pieces is being health. I think we're going to get more health conscious people. We should, you know what I mean?
Let's hope.
It is more health conscious, and I believe that religion is going to be. Those are the two strongest things that I think that's going to actually even people going to capitalize off that. And that's bad, but they're going to capitalize off religion and health in this next wave that we're going. So I said that to say that I want to talk about the health. We had a worker on here last week. Where was she? Who was she? The worker we had on last week. And then we talked about mental health. You know what I mean? And that was really good. We got some really great numbers in that area. So I think we should go in and talk about this food conscience or just this health conscious type deal. And what can we do to educate our community? At the end of the day, this is a podcast. So we should be potting. So my thing is that what can we do, or what do you think is necessary to help our community, and speaking in the African American community in terms of health conscious? What should we do? How let's look into that, and we'll get with you on your calendar. Yeah.
Yes. All right.
All right. So thank you.
All right. Thank you, Jacqueline, for coming.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna sign out, y'all.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
We'll talk to you. Okay.